So, good morning to one and all. Today we have discussed how to find out the shear capacity of the prestressed concrete section. In last few lecture we have discussed the bending capacity of the section, that is the flexural capacity of the prestressed concrete section. Now, as we know that the beam when subjected to the point load, the beam bend. It may be point load or it may be UDL, and due to bending the moment develops. At the support, shear force is maximum, bending moment is 0. At the midspan, definitely bending moment is maximum and shear force is 0. So, in between these two, both will be predominant. That means the shear is also there and bending is also there. But at the support section, we know that shear is critical, bending moment is 0. But due to the prestressing force, what happens? Due to this tendon or tendon profile, we can improve the shear capacity of the section. Due to the introduction of the compressive stresses by prestressing, the principal tensile stresses are reduced. If the cable are curved or inclined, vertical component of the tension in the cable also reduces the shear, and that's why we can improve the shear capacity. Now we know that in case of this beam, this is the cable profile, that is the parabolic. Shear stress are maximum at the support, definitely, and tau v is equal to, in the strength of material we have already discussed this, SA y bar divided by IP. What is this? It is the shear force, maximum shear force. A y bar is the first moment of inertia, A into y bar, and I is the moment of inertia, that is called as the second moment of inertia, and B is the breadth, or we can say that the width of the section. This is the shear strength, tau p, nominal shear stress. Now, when we discuss failure due to web shear cracks, these are the cracks developed due to the shear force. We know that because of the principal stresses, diagonal tension will be developed near the support. Here we know that flexural stresses are more, and that's why at midspan vertical cracks are developed and it will be inclined towards the supports, and these are the wave crack. It is because of the shear strength. Now the wave shear cracks are developed due to highly prestressed beam within waves, particularly when beam is subjected to large concentrated load near a simple support. The ultimate shear resistance of the prestressed concrete section is mainly governed by the limiting value of the principal tensile stress developed in the concrete. The failure is assumed to be take place when the principal tension exceeds the tensile strength of the concrete. Cracks will be developed when tensile strength, principal tensile strength exceed the tensile strength, or we can say that the resistance offered by the concrete, and we know that concrete is weak in tension. So ultimate shear resistance of the concrete due to the web shear crack at the section is given in IS 1343 2012, page number 32 and 33. There are three ways of improving the shear resistance of structure by prestressing. Number one is the horizontal or axial prestressing. That means if the cable profile is perfectly horizontal, that is called as the axial prestressing or horizontal prestressing. Second, prestressing by inclined or sloping cable, parabolic cable is there or inclined cable is there. In that case, we can resist the shear resistance. And third is the vertical or transverse prestressing. If vertical prestressing is done, that is called as the transverse or vertical prestressing. These are the three ways. Now this is the principal stress. We have already discussed in strength of material. This, if there is only shear stress, and because of this shear stress, definitely that this magnitude of this stress, definitely tensile, here it is tensile because it will move in this direction, this will move in this direction, here also in opposite direction. That's why along this plane, along diagonal, tensile stresses are developed, and this is perpendicular to the plane, diagonal, and that's why this sigma tau v is equal to this sigma. Similarly, if prestressing force is developed in this direction because of the tendon, and shear stresses is developed because of the shear force, and we can say that this is also. Third one, If vertical load is there, horizontal load is there, and the shear trusses is there, this is the third type. This is the principal trusses. Now, how to find out the principal trusses? Sigma 1, that is the maximum principal truss, and sigma 2 is the minimum, that is equal to sigma x plus sigma y, that is the along x direction, and along y direction sigma x and sigma y, these are the normal trusses, divided by 2 plus minus 1 by 2 under root of sigma x minus sigma y whole square plus 4 times of tau xy square. Now this tau xy is the shear strength. Sigma x is equal to sigma p in case of pre-stressing beam, and sigma y is 0. Therefore, tau xy is equal to, we can say, tau p. So, sigma 1, sigma 2, that is the minimum and maximum principal truss is equal to, instead of this is 0. That's why we get sigma p by 2 plus minus 1 by 2 under root of sigma p square plus 4 times of tau p square. This is the principal truss. Now, for this we need the slope of the, if parabolic cable is there, we can find out the slope, and this is the equation of the parabola. Y is equal to 4hx, h is the sag, x is the distance where we have taken the section, and L is the total span, L minus x. This is the equation of parabola, and if you take the partial derivative dy by dx, that gives the slope, that is 4h by L square, L minus 2x. Now, we have considered one problem. A pre-stressed concrete beam has the following details. Span of the beam is 10 meter. The cross section of the beam is rectangular, 200 mm by 400 mm. W is equal to 10 kN per meter over entire span including self weight. The cable profile is parabolic with 0 eccentricity at the support and maximum eccentricity of 140 mm at the center of the span. Calculate principal trusses at the support and what will be the magnitude of the principal trusses at the support in the absence of pre-stress. If pre-stressing is there and pre-stressing is not there, what is the difference? This is the problem. Now, first of all, we can find out the slope of cable. In the previous slide, we have already discussed dy by dx is equal to theta, that is equal to 4e divided by L, because at the support x is equal to 0. So, we get the 4 into E eccentricity is equal to 140, L is 10 meter multiplied by 1000, that gives the mm. So, we get the 0.056 radian theta. Now, the vertical component of the pre-stressing force, because of the cable profile, there are two components. One is the horizontal force and another is the vertical force and horizontal. So, vertical force is equal to P sin theta, and P sin theta, as theta is very small, we can say that tan theta is equal to sin theta is equal to 0.056. So 500 into 0.056, we get 28 kN. This is the vertical component. Horizontal component is equal to P is equal to P cos theta, which is nearly equal to same, that is 0.998, closer to 1, so it is 500 kN. Now shear force at the support is equal to WL by 2. So W is equal to 10, L is equal to 10 divided by 2, 50 kN is the shear force at support. Net shear force at support is equal to, shear force at support is equal to 50, and due to pre-stressing force, which is 28 vertical component, and this is the vertical component support, so 50 minus 28, it is 22 kN. Now the net shear force is reduces, and shear strength is equal to, average shear stress is equal to 3 by 2 V divided by PH. V is the shear force. So net shear force is 22 into 10 raised to power 3 divided by 2 into B is equal to 200, and H is the total cross section is 400. So 0.41. Now the stress due to pre-stressing is equal to P by A. Pre-stressing force is 500 into 10 raised to power 3 Newton divided by area. So we get 6.25 MPa is the stress, direct stress due to the pre-stressing. So sigma 1, sigma 2 is equal to, again sigma y is 0. So sigma x is equal to sigma p, 6.25 divided by 2 plus minus 1 by 2 under root of 6.25 whole square plus 4 into tau v, 0.41 to the power 2 square. Sigma 1 is equal to 6.275 MPa and sigma 2 is equal to minus 0.025 MPa. This is the principal stresses due to the pre-stressing force. And in absence of pre-stressing force, what happens? V is equal to 50 kN because there is no pre-stressing force. So maximum and minimum principal stress is equal to maximum shear stress, because sigma p is equal to 0, no stress is there. That's why tau v is equal to 3v divided by 2bl, which is 0.937. So this is the principal stress, or we can say that the shear stress is equal to principal stress. Sigma 1 is equal to sigma 2, that is equal to 0.937 plus minus. See the beauty, if pre-stressing is there, the value is 6.275 MPa sigma 1, and sigma 2 is equal to only 0.025, here 0.937. So we can take the another problem. A pre-stressed concrete beam has a rectangular cross section 250 mm by 600 mm. The beam is pre-stressed by parabolic cable with zero eccentricity at the support and maximum eccentricity of 100 mm at the center of span, carrying an effective force of 1000 kN. Span L is equal to 10 meter, WL is equal to, that is the live load, 20 kN per meter over entire span. Density of the concrete is considered as 24 kN per cubic meter. Estimate number 1, maximum principal stress developed in the section of the beam at the distance of 300 mm from the support, not at the support. In the previous problem, we can find out the principal stress at the support. It is at a distance of 300 mm from the support. Second, the pre-stressing force required to nullify the shear force due to dead load and live load at the support. To nullify, that means that if shear force is 0, what is the requirement of the pre-stressing force? This is the second case. Now the data, area is equal to, cross section is given 250 by 600. So we get the area, L is known, eccentricity is 100, WL is equal to 20, I is equal to VD cube by 12, that's why 45 10 to the power 8 mm to the power 4. Pre-stressing force in the first case is 1000 kN. Z is equal to I by Y, that is I by, this is 300 d by 2. So we get 15 into 10 to the power 6. X is equal to, at X 300 mm, find out the shear force. So dead load is equal to cross section multiplied by density, and total load is equal to WD plus WL. So we get the 23.6 kN per meter. Now shear force at support is equal to WL by 2. So W is equal to 23 point something. So we get the WL by 2. It is 118 kN. Shear force at section 300 mm from the support is equal to 118 is the maximum shear force minus the 0.30 multiplied by 23.60. This is, we can say that the reaction at support A multiplied by 0.3. This will be minus. We get the 110.92 kN is the shear force which is at a distance of 300 mm from the support. Similarly, parabolic cable is there, that's why we can find out the theta. 4E divided by L is equal to 0.04. This is radian. Now the slope of the cable at 300 mm from the supports, we use the equation 4E L minus 2x divided by L square, x is equal to 300 mm. So we get 0.0376 radian. Now shear force at 300 mm from the support is equal to this minus 37.60. Shear force at 300 mm from the support, that is equal to 110.92, and this is 37.60. So we get the 73.32 kN. So tau v is equal to 3 Vc divided by 2 Bh. H is equal to 600, that is the total depth. B is equal to 250 and Vc is equal to 73.32. Now this is related with the P multiplied by sin theta, pre-stressing force. So vertical component is equal to 37.60 minus this one, that gives the net shear force. So stress due to the pre-stressing is equal to P by A. It is again same 6.67 MPa. Now principal stress is equal to sigma P by 2 plus minus 1 by 2 under root of sigma P square plus the 4 times of tau P. So we get sigma 1 is equal to 6.749 MPa and sigma 2 is equal to minus 0.079 MPa. The pre-stressing force required to nullify the shear force due to dead load and live load. That is the second case. Now in second case, shear force at the support is equal to 118 kilonewton. P sin theta is equal to V is equal to 118. Theta is same. Shear force is known to us. We can find out the pre-stressing force. So P is equal to 118 divided by 0.04. That is the sin theta is equal to 2950. That means to nullify the pre-stressing shear force, we can apply the pre-stressing force is equal to 2950 kilonewton. This is the beauty of the pre-stressing section. Thank you. Stay safe at home. Thank you.